Sinclair indicated to us that life in Christ is a countercultural transformed life, and we see that every day in our lives when we are, as Jesus said, salt and light to the world. Salt, as you know, is a preservative, and when we eat a lot of salt, it makes us very thirsty. And if we put salt into a wound, it irritates the wounds. And one of the things that we should expect then is that when people see our salt, people will want what you have when they see the impact of your worldview on your life. Light is interesting in and of itself. It exposes darkness so that others sense their own sin. And there are two reactions to that. One is, of course, fright, run away, I don't want to hear about that, or flight reactions. And these are the typical responses that we would see as countercultural transformed lives in the world that we live in. Well, people get very irritated when they realize you're a Christian because they are obviously exposed to your sin because you are salt and light to the world. He also indicated to us that people are watching us. And you may remember the story about a mission to the Himalayas where one of his students named Arthur kept the party clean because they knew that Arthur was a Christian and he was presenting the salt and light of the world to that whole team. And so he was particularly proud of the fact that one of his students kept the party clean. One of the questions that arose during the discussion was, as Christians, are we to receive the law of Moses or the law of Christ? Are there differences between these laws or not? And we're going to learn a little bit more about that during this session. But one of the things he pointed out was that Moses, as the lawgiver, could not empower you to keep the law. The example that he chose about the law was in the Pilgrim's Progress, where a Christian's companion is beaten by a man who tells him that he does not know how to show mercy, and that the man who beat him was Moses. Then another man with nail marks in his hands rescues Christian's friend from the law. Of course, that man was representative of Christ. So what we've learned is that the law of God drives us to Christ in order to be saved. Then Christ gives us the law in such a way as to teach us how we should live now that we are saved in obedience to the law.